honestly, there's always questions about why lawyers make so much money. The thing is, sometimes I don't think they make enough money because you're shit. You at the hands of your client plus whoever's after them, and sometimes folks all in between. Hell, is it even worth it sometimes? And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is going to be How to Get Away with Murder. This is season 2, is episode 13. Let's talk about this. The thing is, Annalise, we start right off. They're still getting messages from Philip, okay? And he is just stalking the hell out of them. Annalise just got sick of the shit. You know, because again, we really think that Philip actually killed someone. 3 people is who we're thinking, but we think he killed someone. So to keep going back and forth and playing with him and how he's getting so close to them, anybody got time for all that. So Annalise got sick of the bullshit. She took a gamble and went down to the DA, took the laptop, and basically told him, listen, this is the information you need to capture Philip Jessup, because they got a search going on for him in Canada. That bastard ain't in Canada. He's right there, you know. So she's like, I'll give you this laptop. Information that you need to get him is on that laptop. But what I'm going to need in exchange is immunity for anything that you see on there that might end up being misunderstood later on when we get in court. So the DA, you know, his radar done went up like, bitch, what did you do? You done did something, bitch, that you trying to hide. So all while this is going on, he goes ahead and he agrees to it. In the meantime, in between time, Nate ends up calling Annalise and saying to Annalise, what's going on? You know, this, that, thing, and the other. There's been cars sent out to your house with a search. They got a search warrant. They're trying to get a search warrant signed to come to your house. And Annalise is like, okay, she's still, because they were asking her, what's taking so long for the approval for the immunity? And she's on the phone with Bonnie. She's standing in front of the DA. And she says, well, yeah, Bonnie. For some reason, I'm standing here with the DA. And for some reason, when I talk to him about immunity, he obviously, in his head, it says search warrant. So what I'm going to need you to do is shred everything. Shred it and burn it all. Bonnie's like, are you telling me to burn shit and shred shit standing in front of the DA? She's like, yes, I am. And Bonnie's like, so that means don't do anything. She's like, absolutely. So another gamble. Child, you know, I love Annalise, honey. So it's a whole gamble. But he's standing there looking stupid as hell. Meantime, between time, we got the kids flying around, typing and carrying on. They done, Connor and made a call and told someone he was the judge, you know, and they basically got in touch with the judge. Judge ain't heard nothing about no damn search warrant. All while this is going on, the police that came bullied their way on up into the house, talking about the search warrant is on its way. Their copy of the search warrant's on its way. They know better than that because the judge has never even signed it. So at the point that they entered the house and the signature wasn't actually on the paper, now it's an illegal search. So whatever you find ain't going to be worth a goddamn quarter. So Annalise sat there and she told him, you know, next thing you know, while that's going on, the judge that they were saying signed the warrant, that got a hold of the DA like, what in the fuck are you doing? I ain't signed shit. What are you doing? And here the police were already in the house, already tagging shit and time dating it. Wrong as hell. So she got their asses by the balls yet again. She told him, now what you can do is you can give me the immunity that I asked for me and my students, or I could just sue the hell out of you, because at this point, your officers are inside my house making an illegal search. So what is it that you want to do? And he was so goddamn swole. I love that goddamn Annalise. But anyway, so he gets it, but then he basically tells her, you know, you never know what else information that Philip has, and if he has other footage that we haven't talked about, that's going to be held against you. Man, get on out of here. You done fucked up. That's all. You done fucked up, and Annalise will figure it out. But I thought that was great. I was like, I'm so glad we back to seeing Annalise do what she does well, fucking them around. I love it. Okay, so anyway, we got some stuff from back in the past. Annalise's girlfriend, Eve. Okay, so Eve ends up coming down because remember, Rose was basically not trying to do anything. She didn't show up for court and all that. So Annalise fixed it up where Eve came. She working for immigration. She goes and takes her down there into immigration and holds her, telling her basically, you know, we checking you out, girl. We don't see you anywhere. Your ass is in trouble. They got Christoph outside. They got her in there. They're holding her. So she ends up going back and forth. And then Rose finally does. She finally did agree to go ahead and testify to keep her citizenship and get the heat up off of her and all of that. So she goes back. But her idea of that, she had it in her mind what she was going to do. They let her go home. She grabbed Christoph, got her car and shit together, and she was making her way on out of there. She's ready to leave. So that's what we end up seeing there on the road. She's trying to kind of explain to Christoph without explaining he's smart enough to know they were at immigration and that she's the illegal immigrant. So she's like, he said, I want to go home. I don't want to do this. This is crazy. What are we going to do? Just live in a hotel or whatever? So he's going on and on. You know, he's too damn grown. So she's in traffic. This fool jumps out the car and runs. So she goes. He kept saying he wanted to go home. So she ends up going back home. Okay, so just hold on with that right there. And I'm going to get with you in a minute. In the meantime, before all this, in the evening, Eve and Annalise, we're sitting up having a conversation. So we got more of the background on them two. Them two were a couple before Annalise actually got with Sam. Okay. And when Annalise pulled her in, like we see Annalise been pulling her into her bullshit for a very long time. When she pulled her in, she didn't even know that she was pregnant. So she ends up finding out while she's there that she's pregnant. So she's pissed off that her woman then got pregnant by this man that then took her off of him. This, that, the other. She's never even met Sam, but she hates his guts. She was like hateful about the baby. Annalise has had miscarriages before. She actually tried to get her to drink some wine. I said, oh, you're a dirty, rotten bitch. But they go through all that. Annalise actually even told her about, you know, she's like, miscarriages were always easier. This child wants to live, you know, this, that, thing, and the other, and I don't know if I'm ready. They end up talking. She gets her all together. She's like, girl, you ready? Whatever. But they had a little argument, and Annalise was basically telling her what the whole problem with them. Annalise doesn't consider herself gay. So this is the thing. Annalise is all fucked up and crazy in the head. You fucking around, had a whole relationship going on with this woman, got this woman all tied up to you and your bullshit, and you on that, oh, I ain't gay shit. Okay, whatever. Now, me, I ain't really into all the titles anyway. It is what it is. I am who I am. I ain't got time for all that. I ain't got time to bring you up to speed on what society views you as. Who gives a fuck? But a lot of people go through that. Whatever. I just think it's ridiculous, but whatever. So I understood that whole thing of where they were with that, but that's what Annalise said. Don't fucking blame me for you being lonely, bitch. Because you gay, you want to be gay, that's on you. Bitch, I ain't gay. I just like a little pussy from time to time. So I was like, hey, what's wrong with that? Whatever. But when you went into the whole thing of y'all were a couple and all that, girl, you kind of crossed the line. But whatever. Who cares? So that was their whole issue. That's where Sam came into the picture. That's why Eve hates Sam and don't even fucking know Sam. So they had all that. So, okay. So we got all that together. So then we get this little small timeline. We got, in present day, we got Wes running all around. He's trying to figure everything out. He ends up going to the therapist. He's trying to get the therapist to help him remember, the things that he forgot. Laurel's running around trying to get Annalise to get Wes because she thinks if he goes and talks the wrong shit, that it's going to fuck everybody else up. And Wes won't answer Laurel's calls. Once Laurel ended up going to Wes's house and Wes figures out that Laurel actually told Annalise about them going to Cleveland, Wes gets an attitude. He's all pissed off and throws Laurel out. Laurel and Annalise have a final blowout. Annalise told her, Annalise clocked her right down. She's like, oh, so he's your boyfriend now? Is that it? Y'all went to Cleveland. Then y'all found out y'all want to be boyfriend and girlfriend now. So Laurel was kind of like looking at her like, how the fuck this bitch? We don't want to be boyfriend and girlfriend. How's she know? Anyway, so they end up having to fall out. And she basically told, Laurel told Annalise, you know what? I am done with this. I know what you and Frank do to people. And I'm just done with it. And you won't tell the truth. There's some reason why you're not telling the truth to Wes or to me about Wes is because you're hiding something. And I know what you and Frank do. And she's like, what do you mean? What do you know? And she's going to say, you know. And she said, this is not on me anymore. It's on you. I can't protect him anymore. It's back on you. It's in your lap now, bitch. And Laura went on about her business. Her and Frank still can't get together. Frank told her, you know what, I love you, and that's why I ended up telling you the truth, and now shit's all fucked up. She's like, yeah, okay, well, I don't love you. She do, though. She really, really do. But she goes off. Bonnie, that put a phone down in the basement, and that caught them talking. So now Bonnie knows the shit that Laurel knows. A mess. It's always a mess. They go to, they took some precautions. Everybody ended up going. They had a slumber party, basically. They went to stay in one spot. They stayed with Asher, see, because Philip doesn't know Asher. He doesn't know anything about Asher. He never met Asher. So he's not surveilling Asher. So they all went to Asher's place. And they all stayed. And in the midst of that little time that they were together, Michaela, Oliver made a comment about Stanford and him and Connor leaving to go to Stanford, applying to Stanford and moving away. And Michaela, when everybody went to sleep, told Connor, please don't go because I can't make it here. I can't survive here by myself with these people. So he's like, well, I probably won't get in anyway. So there's that little connection. Well, we always knew there was a connection between Connor and Michaela. They really like each other or depend on each other because they both were kind of like the same. They're like kindred spirits. That's why they argue all the goddamn time. But anyway, okay, so we got all that out of the way. That's all present day stuff. Wes ends up going to see Annalise. He talked to the damn. He is saying too much to the therapist, and basically he's like, I'm not who you think I am. There's reasons that I think that I may have been the one that actually killed my mother. She's like, no, Wes, that's just your mind telling you that. You look at the events. You didn't kill your mother. You were never arrested. You were never taken into custody. None of that. None of that stuff. It's your mind. You're putting that in your mind trying to make things make sense. But that's not what it is. So he's like, I don't know. I'm not who you think I am. And I can't tell you anymore. So now her wheels are spinning like, is this motherfucker a serial killer and I don't know it? Because that's how he sounded with his dumb ass. So he walks off from there. He ends up going to Annalise's, trying to talk to her. Well, Annalise is over fucking Nate. By everybody else, because everybody needed to go away. So she's not there. Everybody else is at Asher's. She's over at Nate's getting it in. And Wes goes to her house and ends up finding the document that was stolen from Cleveland that says that he may have been the murderer. So he found that little document and all that. Okay, so in the midst of all that, so we get the real story. We finally get to the rest of what actually happened. So we're going to go back 10 years. Okay, so it's the next day, okay? Annalise is actually met with the client. And the client is a son of a bitch. He's still throwing threats around. He goes and tells Annalise, oh, so you got it all under control? She's like, I got it all under control. She's going to testify this, that, and the other. He's like, well, what you don't know, she's been released. And she tried to skip town. She's tried to skip town. You need to find her. You need to tell her. Get in touch with her. Tell her. Just like she wants to protect her boy, I want to protect my boy. And if she don't testify, her boy ain't going to be safe. Annalise then got sick of the bullshit now and told the client, if you touch that boy, I promise you, your son's going to jail. So you can just go ahead on and keep on with all your threatening and your bullshit. If you touch that motherfucking baby, we going to have a problem. You know, she had already took to Christoph just a little time that she had been with him. I guess that's the one thing that just she ain't going for. She told that motherfucker, you touch him and your son's definitely going to jail. She lose her son, you're going to lose yours, motherfucker. So get on. And so she basically went to see her. And it's all in this real small timeline. She went to see her, and this is that same day where she was in the midst of running, okay? So she sees her, she's like, well, where's Christoph? She's like, I don't know. I thought he was going to be here. I was going to leave. He ran off or whatever. So Annalise is talking to her, and she says, they're going back and forth, and she says, listen, you got to do this, because now you got to protect Christoph. And she's like, did he threaten Christoph? And she's like, she said, yeah. And she's like, see, because you don't know them. You don't know what I know. You don't know who these people really are, Annalise. I'm telling you. So she tells her, she says, no, it's going to be fine. You just do what you need to do. Christoph is going to be fine. And that's it. She tells her, she says, no. She said, they got that whole thing about, like, because she had actually told her she would be deported. Eve had told her she'd be deported, but Christoph was born in the States. So he is the actual United States citizen. So he wouldn't have to go, but she would have to go. She said, well, there's no need. She said, you take care of my boy. And Lisa's like, what are you talking about? She says, you take care of my boy. There's no need. He won't be in danger anymore. And that bitch stood at that goddamn sink and took that knife and jammed it in her goddamn neck. And Annalise was like, oh, come on, bitch. She fall out on the ground. Annalise is sitting there. You see her press 911 on her phone. Then she thought of it, thought better of it, got her ass up and rolled out. Because wasn't nothing she could do to save her. That bitch was bleeding out. She said, let me go. She got up and she went out. And she's getting ready to go down the hall. She heard these little footsteps. So she back up and hide in the corner. Here comes Christoph down the hall into the house. Annalise goes past him and goes on out. He goes in and finds his mother. He pulled the knife out. You know, he's like, what happened? This, that, and the other. And he ends up pulling the knife off. So surely he's just a little kid. He don't know no better. When he pulled the knife off, she just bled on out. And that was it. But he did not kill his mother. She killed herself. It actually was a suicide. That family never put a hit out on her. Their whole intention was to hurt her. They weren't even going to kill her. They were just going to, they had some of that old mob type goddamn mentality. Fuck you, bitch. I ain't going to kill you. That's too easy. My boy go to jail. I'm going to fucking kill your son, bitch, and let you be miserable. That's what I'm going to do. So that was kind of how that went. Okay, so that's what then really happened. Now, last thing, Annalise then, in present time, Annalise then went to Wes's house that next day. Wes went, when he found the papers, Eve's signature is on the papers. He went to see Eve. Annalise is at Wes's apartment. And she's like, Wes, it's Annalise, this, that, and the other. And she slips something under the door for him. And she sees that somebody's in there and they're walking. And she thinks it's Wes. She ends up going ahead. She was going to walk away. Then she decided not to. She walks and she lets herself into the apartment. And she's going around. She's like, walk around. She's like, Wes, you ain't got to hide in here from me. This, that, thing, and the other. Her phone rings. It's Eve. Eve says to her, because she's getting ready to go to the bedroom door, because it was closed. And Eve says, Annalise, she's like, this is not a good time. She's like, no. You got to talk to me now. Wes is sitting here. This, that, thing, and the other. She's like, what? She's like, yeah, Wes is sitting there. She said, Eve, call 911. Someone is in Wes's apartment. By the time she turned around and go to walk out, baby, Philip grabs her goddamn ankle. That ass is hiding under the couch. He grabbed her fucking ankle and pulled her down to the ground. Child, and that's where it ended. I said, oh, shit. So here we go with the shit, with this goddamn How to Get Away with Murder. Child, I just love this program. Anyway, so that's where it ended. We're almost to the end of the season. I don't know what's getting ready going, but I really hope Annalise fucks Philip Jessup's ass up. But anyway, okay, so that's where we're ending. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys know how that all works. And I will see you guys next Thursday. All right. Bye, guys.